It's the only secret there really is, as far as having power just through attitude, which means being happy, having a good energy that you give off to others. And this really gets us into how to build a social network. I mean, the core foundation of it is you can't go around like a depressed guy or an overly fearful guy. You got to have some happiness to give away to others, maybe some humor. But whatever it is, it's good energy, not bad.
Let me tell a story. I was in college, and a dream of mine had always been to sail in New England, but I didn't have a boat. I didn't have a dock. I didn't know the first thing about sailing. It was just a pipe dream that we used to joke about late nights. Well, one afternoon I was reading the school newspaper, and on the wanted ads it said it was a request for crew members, and it said "fun boat, mean captain." And my buddy and I, and a friend of mine from school who also wanted to sail, answered the ad. And a curmudgeonly guy on the other end of the line said, "Yeah, come down to Hyannisport and we'll put you to work." And what happened was one weekend we went down and we met a gentleman named Max, and he had a beautiful 59-foot wooden yawl, two-mast boat, gorgeous teak decking. And we didn't know a lick about sailing, but he took us out and he said, "All right, you two idiots, get up front. I'm going to teach you how to handle the sheet jib. I'm going to teach you how to bring in the mainsail." And he basically, over the next few years, he put us to work learning how to sail. And we learned all the about all the lines on board, all the dangers of sailing. And it was a real male bonding thing. The few of us as crew member, the captain of the boat. This is the thing men do. They get together, and one guy cannot sail a boat that size. He needs the help of other men, and each man needs a specialized task. And my buddy and I went into the unknown. We took a risk, and we learned how to sail at the hand of this older guy. And it was one of the most instructive experiences in college. And I carry that with me today. And the point of that is that that's what men do. They get together and they basically go out against nature as a unit, and it's division of labor. Each has his role, and together they can accomplish what an individual cannot.
That's great. You sailed for years?
Yeah, in college. Yeah, often instead of doing my homework, I would go out and sail,
That's great.
and it was a great time.
Well, for a quick study guide to this, if you're going to build a social network, then you must be an excellent friend, right? There's no way to build this as if you're putting together some IKEA furniture or something. It's not like a step-by-step guide using tools. You have to have the traits and character of a good friend, and you will naturally be building a great social network. Now, in writing my most recent mainstream book, it was written for women, actually. It was called The Power of Female Friendship. I lay out an actual science of friendship, but it just so happens it applies equally to men forming friendships, at least the core principle, which is that friendship is consistent, mutual, shared positive emotion. Consistent, mutual, shared positive emotion. And I derived that equation from, my own work called Mind OS and KWML. And I defined it based on the parts of the psyche that I lay out in those works. But when I started researching the book more extensively, I was looking at some ancient philosophers and see what they had to say. Did anybody talk about friendship back in those days? And it turns out Aristotle did. And he had different phrases and words, but it turns out he used the same four kind of categories to define a good friend. It's somebody consistent, meaning they are reliable. They keep their promises, which implies good boundaries. It's mutual, meaning both people are experiencing happy emotions because of each other, not just one. It's not just you leaning on someone else all the time or them leaning on you all the time. It's shared, meaning you can't do it long distance. You got to have in-person shared experiences together, sort of like, you're learning how to sail. You showed up, you were physically present, you bonded with these other guys in person. Can't be done by Facebook or email or telephone even. And then finally, positive emotion, not negative emotion. So you don't just dump your worries on someone else. endlessly. You don't just dump your sadness on someone else endlessly. You offer them humor, happiness, good emotion. If you do those four things, you are a good friend, and you will just organically, naturally build a social network.